Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, make sure before you leave, you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. In today's video, I am going to not be constructing my DIYs, but they are already constructed and they're so simple. I'm just going to walk you through them real quick and you'll be able to do them on your own, and they're just easy peasy. So after that, I was going to show off a few items that I found at my local Dollar Tree that I don't know if all of them are new, but they're new to me. So I wanted to show them off and give you a little insight into what I've been finding around my town. So let's just jump into it. My first DIY is this, it could be a door hanger or wall hanger, but I put this stand on the back of it so I could set it at my table with my other centerpieces. So I just thought it was really cute. I made it from one of these Dollar Tree pumpkins, one of these small ones that they come on a ribbon that has 3 of these, I believe, and 2 footballs. And this third one was also a Dollar Tree pumpkin. It had the stand like this to where it stood up kind of like the sign does, only it was a pumpkin and it had like a burlap cover on the front with a sunflower, and they have those every year. So if you can find those, great. If not, use just whatever is available to you. With these pumpkins, you want to make sure you get some fine grade sandpaper and sand the glitter off the front to smooth them out. Or I've seen some people just leave that on there and flip it over and use the smooth backs. I like for the back of mine to be fairly clean. I don't want to see this when I flip it over, or if I have it standing out on my table. If you came around, you would see all that bright orange sign. So I sanded it off. Then I got some of the Waverly chalk paint in pumpkin, and I painted this one the pumpkin color, and then used the Waverly elephant chalk paint to distress it and kind of give it some texture. This little one right here, I used, it's all Waverly. I used the cashew color, and I distressed each of them. Yes, I distressed each of them with the elephant gray chalk paint. And this one over here is just the regular white Waverly paint. It's all chalk paint. So after those dried, I had taken this off because it came on the original. I took it off when I was sanding. That way I didn't get any paint on it. It's just an easy, it's glued on. You just pop it off. After your paint dries, you glue that back on. I made a little buffalo check bow out of some Dollar Tree. Everything on here is from Dollar Tree. Made a little buffalo check bow. Wrapped all the stems in some jute twine. I wrapped these is the berry garland. This is the white, but I used the red on this. I just wrapped it around a small dowel rod, like one of these, or a pencil or a paintbrush or whatever. You just wrap it around something, whatever size you like, and then when you pull the dowel rod out, it leaves you with that little curly-Q look. I found some of these little pumpkin scented pine cones and some of these leaves. These are the 50 count leaves. They're a lot like the ones you get on the picks and the stems at Dollar Tree, only these are obviously all flat, so they work better on these signs like this, so they're not like pushing out or making things go in directions you don't want them to go. So a very nice little item to keep in your stash. 50 little leaves. They're all kind of small like this, but for a DIY like that, you don't need anything too big. So that is all for that one. Just a little bit of paint and some ribbon. On this, I believe this is called, what is it called? A topiary? I think it's called the topiary. I used all of this is Dollar Tree products. I used one of their galvanized buckets like this one, but I'm going to demonstrate with this one because I don't have another one of the monogrammed ones. I had this little lime circle. If you have any like random pieces of cardboard or anything, it helps when you go to hot glue. I got it off of this sign. I had sanded the glitter off this sign on another DIY, but I had to pop these off, so I just kept them. Well, it turns out I kept them for a good reason, because I ended up using one here. I hot glued this to the bottom because the bottom of these buckets is pretty smooth, so the hot glue would probably just kind of peel right off pretty easy. So I figured that would help. I just made a big circle on the hot glue, glued it down in there, then took a dowel rod out of these. This pack I got from Dollar General, I believe, and they cost $2 for a pack of 6. You get 3 different sizes, 2 of each in the pack. So I used the largest one, and then I hot glued it to my cardboard round. So now I have my cardboard round in here and my dowel rod sticking out. These pumpkins, this one is hollow on the inside. This pops right out. It's just a toothpick holding it in. That pops right off. Don't need that anymore. Then I just stabbed a hole in here and here with my scissors, and if you can tell, mine's a little lopsided. I don't know how it got that. I don't know where I went wrong, but do your best as you go to make sure you're keeping it straight. It all went astray with this bottom pumpkin. So one crooked pumpkin and it throws the whole thing crooked. So that in mind. Oh, before I put these on, I forgot. I painted these 2 pumpkins with the Waverly pumpkin colored paint. So then once they dried, this one actually I missed bits and pieces, or it was thinner in parts, so it gave it a little bit of highlight. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but you could still see a little bit of this bright orange shining through. But no pumpkin is just one solid color that I've ever seen, so it didn't bother me too much. So I had stabbed my hole in here and here, and then I just pushed it through down on the dowel rod. Then I had one of these little buffalo check pumpkins that I believe these are new this year, and I loved them, so I got me some orange ones and black ones. Like this one, the stem comes right out. Cut a hole in the top and the bottom and put that right down on top. Excuse me. If you want, you could put some hot glue in between the pumpkins, but with that dowel rod, they're not going to go anywhere. And I'm sorry, I forgot this part. Before I put this pumpkin on, I put rocks in the bottom of this to weigh it down. You don't have to, but I figured if it gets bumped, the weight of the pumpkins could make your bucket a little easy to knock over. So I put rocks down in the bottom. That is optional. Everything on here is optional. It is a DIY. You do it yourself. You make it how you like it. Whatever colors, whatever style. I put some of the flat leaves like I had before on here. This pumpkin up here used to be the off-white one that they had this year that already had this stuff sticking out of the top. I did take the flower out, but I left a lot of the little pieces in there. I wrapped this in jute twine and I secured it with a little hot glue in between the pumpkins, just because I was worried that this one, you really want to make sure you glue this one. I put glue around the dowel rod that was sticking out to make sure this one stayed on. That way, I mean, you don't want to pick it up by the top one, but you see that I can because it's good and secure. But I live in a house full of boys, so you want to make everything secure because you just never know. Alrighty, for my next DIY, super simple. These little jars, they are new, well recently, relatively new. These little square jars that have the clear lids. Looks like I tried to use this one. Maybe I tried a different color on this, but it was red, as you can see. I got just you could use any little knob or ornament, anything you really like. And I used E6000 with a dot of hot glue. The hot glue just helps hold it in place until the E6000 sets. But when you do use the E6000, it keeps it sturdy. The hot glue is really Not the best idea to use when you're trying to glue two slick surfaces together. So the E6000 is a super glue, so once it sets, you are good to go. So then I used this Rust-Oleum metallic silver spray paint on the lids, and there we go. Now these sit on the top shelf in my bathroom. And of course, like I said, with all those boys, you gotta have Band-Aids on standby. So that is that one. Easy peasy. What was my next one? Super easy one. These candles. In most Dollar Trees I've seen, they are on the bottom shelf of the candle section. They can go unnoticed, but they're so handy for so many things. You can melt them down and pour them into other glass jars that you like. I just did that with pumpkins, so I'll be posting that video soon. Or you could leave them like this. There's different colors. Then they have a lot of different press-on wall signs. They're stickers. I found these that I absolutely loved. I don't know if Dollar Tree still carries them. I found them at a yard sale. A lady was getting rid of her stash. She had like 30 different wall decals. And there's a few of this one and just a ton of different ones. I'm not sure if they carry some of them. Some of them I have still seen. But all you'll do is get that label off right there. Can be kind of hard. I scrubbed it off, and then when it was still being difficult, some Goo Gone, and good as new. Then once it dries, just put one of these stickers on there. I think I did mine sideways, like at an angle, and I had 3 white candles, and I put one of each on each candle. I didn't use these on the white. I kept these. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. These little twirly designs. They're adorable, but I couldn't see them on the white candle. So I saved those because I figure those are so cute. I could use those on something else. Okay, so that's that one. My next one is my hello sign. And I hang this on the wall in my dining room. And super easy. The wood frame is actually a canvas I got from Walmart. And I don't think I pulled the staples out. No, I did not pull the staples out because I was running staples in anyway to put the chicken wire. So with some, I mean, if they bother you, pull the staples, by all means. It didn't bother me. So I just pulled the canvas off, and with the Dollar Tree canvases, you will have, it's just a square boxy frame on the inside. This frame, to my surprise, had a molding, like molded look to them, and if you can see, it's got the little indentation right there. It looked more like a picture frame than just square wood, so I love that. So then I had some chicken wire on hand, and I just used my staple gun and stapled that in place all the way around. I think I did 2 or 3 staples on each side to make sure it was secure. This is one of the picks from Dollar Tree. I know they have some that have the white leaves with the white pumpkins and berries. That is not what I had on this one. I do have some of those, but I just used the white leaves pick, and there was 4 pieces on it, so I cut those apart and then just did 1 piece here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here to where it made the L shape. And then I used some of these pumpkins that they have where it's 4 of them to a pack, and they're on these flimsy little sticks. So if you're doing a floral and you're just shoving these into styrofoam, they'll work. But for anything else, these sticks are not very sturdy. So I just popped them off the sticks and glued them down, 3 of them down here. The hello sign, the galvanized sign, as you can tell, it's on this piece of wood. So I unscrewed it and then took it off. Well, I couldn't cut that extra strip of metal off, because I didn't need it to, because if I kept it, it would have made the hello sign stick out on this. So I folded it down. I got a pair of pliers and just pinched it until it folded over. And then it ended up helping because it glued more securely to the chicken wire. So, oh, I apologize. The stain I used on the frame was Waverly Antique Wax. You just rub it on and then wipe off the excess, and it has this beautiful dark stain to it I absolutely love. As you can tell, it kind of matches my table. That's why I hang it up in here. For my next DIY, I'm sure everyone has seen these little these little trucks at their Dollar Tree. If not, be on the lookout. I found I found two different types of them at my Dollar Tree. It's been a few weeks ago. They had some that had these bed liners on them, or the bed rails, but some of them didn't. And I actually didn't notice that part till I got them home, but it didn't matter because either way, I was doing like these fall DIYs, or like with the one that doesn't have the bed liners, I may do Christmas DIYs with them because they look kind of cute and red once I got it done. So I used just regular red acrylic paint on the truck, and then I used some of the black paint and did some distressing. I will do a video where I show you how I do the distressing. See, I screwed up on here, but that's why it's the back side now. So I will show in a video how I did that. Then I got one of these little pumpkins that was in the pack with this scented pine cones, and I cut it in half. And then on here I wrote Farm Fresh on a popsicle stick that I had stained with my antique wax. And I just wrote on it with a Sharpie and then clipped it off to size and then glued it to the door. I used some of these leaves. Now these leaves are off a pick. They are not off of these flat ones. They are just off a Dollar Tree pick. And as you can see, are there leaves on these? No. Did I actually get one that didn't have leaves? Aha. These have the plastic, like, I don't know, they're almost like veins running through them. I can't, stems, the plastic stems going through them. So they have more of a curve to them. You can bend them the way you like them. They stick out a little bit more. So I use those so they would kind of flare up and off. You can use whatever you want. You can use raffia and make it look like straw sticking out from under it. And then I found some of these little pumpkins on these picks. Now these are not the big picks that you would find up on the shelf at your Dollar Tree sticking out of the floral displays. If you want to find these little ones, look underneath that. Underneath those picks that are up on the wall. They usually have those in a box on the very bottom shelf. So when you go to Dollar Tree and you're looking through their craft supplies or anything really, you need to look very carefully because sometimes they just, like, it's almost like they just toss things out. But I'm sure they're in a hurry because people like me go in there and just clear them out, especially when the holidays roll in, because these are just adorable. And this fits so nicely on a tier tray that I'm going to show you that I made in another DIY. Okay, that's the truck. Oh, and my truck. I cannot paint to save my soul. So I don't know how many times I had to go over and start again on these black wheels because I cannot paint a circle. I have shaky hands. I've never been a painter. And then I remembered I had these little fellas. Just little sponges. I think they're for stenciling with acrylic paints to where you can just dab it. Well, I got my black acrylic paint out and I just stuck it right on there. Just black circle, just like that. Now I will always keep these. They sell these at Dollar Tree too in the Crafter Square section if you're lucky enough to find them. Next time I go, I'm going to pick up another set just because of these little trucks. Okay. That, I believe, is it on the DIYs. Some of the items, let me just get this out of the way. Some of the items that I found that I have absolutely fell in love with, which for every season, I think Dollar Tree is getting better and better at their holidays decor. So it's pretty exciting. These, I'm not sure if they're new. This one, the clip came off because I was actually seeing on the DIY I had where I said I had done a jar I was gonna see if it would just glue on like that, but that one is actually not finished. So this little beauty right here, it might still go on it. Love those, 2 to a package. They had them in a few different colors. All kinds of signs this year. Before I get to signs, more sponge brushes. These are from the hardware section, and there are 8 in a pack. I know over in the Crafter Square section where you find these, there are packs of 6, and I believe it's just that one small size. You get 6 of the small ones. For the same price, you get some 3 of the small ones, 2 medium ones, and that really big one. I don't know if you can see with the glare, but 8 versus 6 for the same price. I don't always get these because I don't always need the big ones. The small ones are usually what I use the most, but for the same price, if I need a couple extra brushes, that's the way to go. Their signage, I'm not sure what in this is new this year. Honestly, I've always loved to do DIYs, but I've never really gotten into the sign repurposing until this year. So it's all new to me. If I say something is new in this video and you know that you've seen it in years prior, comment or leave a comment down below and let me know. I could be wrong. It's happened before, but don't tell my husband. I found these. I'm pretty sure these are new. I've heard a lot of people talk about them. These monogram signs, they have the galvanized lid, the buffalo check ribbon with a bow. I don't even know what kind of leaf that would be or what kind of floral that would be. But it's got the shiplap backing, and I don't even have to do anything to this. I think I'm just going to stick this on my door as is, or maybe put it on, I may make a Christmas wreath and put this right in the middle of it. I haven't decided yet, but it doesn't look like it needs any work. If it does, not very much, because it's gorgeous as is. These little pumpkins, when they're not really little, I am a sunflower girl, so the Hello Autumn sign is right up my alley. Again, with this, whatever that floral is, you guys got to tell me. With the raffia bow and the glittered pumpkin, or glittered stem. This one is about the same, but it's got the black buffalo check. It says thankful and blessed, and it's got the pumpkins at the bottom. Again, same glittered stem with a raffia bow, just different color. Just this part is different with a different message. Same type of picture, very cute. I don't know if there was any other types of these or not. Dollar Tree is seriously up their game. They had so many signs, and I've seen a lot of people do videos about what they're finding in their Dollar Trees, and it's girls that have been in bigger stores than what I have locally. Whole wall of signs, great big ones. It's amazing. I would have bought them all, but I don't need that many signs. And I spend enough at the Dollar Tree already. Like, if I come packing out giant signs on top of that, my husband just might kick my butt. I don't know. So they had these leaves. I know there were different styles of these. I really didn't know how or I was going to DIY this, so I only got the one. If I decide I want to do more, then they'll probably be all gone. But it gives me ideas for the future, and I can get some inspiration from, I watch other ladies' videos, like Sarah Jane on Chic on the Cheap. I love watching her. She has some great ideas. I assume a lot of DIYers are going to be doing a lot of these signs, and I'll be very curious to see what they do. It helps inspire. We inspire each other because everybody has different ideas. They have these metal trucks. This one says thankful, and it's got the really pretty pumpkins on it. That one, it's like a blue-green, and then we have a red one down here and a couple orange ones. Really pretty artwork. The It looks like something you'd get at Hobby Lobby. It does not look like Dollar Tree material. So many of their items right now are looking more upscale than what you would expect at a Dollar Tree. Like these chalkboard signs. It's, what, probably 2 feet tall with a little cutout pumpkin space right here. You could decorate this with just chalk, or you could use wooden letters and spell out fall down the front with a little decoration. So many possibilities. And this could hang in that one little section of wall that you never really know what to do with, like the one between your door and your refrigerator or something like that. That just a perfect little sign to bring a little more class and beauty to your room. Then I only got 2 of these little wood cutouts. I have heard people talk about them, so I'm pretty sure they're not new. But like I said, new to me, because all of this is new to me and I'm loving it. They also had the trucks that I've seen on different YouTubers' videos. But by the time I got to my Dollar Tree, there was pumpkins and owls. I'm not an owl girl. I don't even know how to DIY an owl. Maybe I'll try one day, but right now I'm loving the pumpkins. So I got 2 of these. There were the only 2 left, and all the trucks were gone. So you win some, you lose some. That is all I found. I have some more things coming up. I have another sign. I am doing a swap. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. I am doing a Dollar Tree swap with a girl from, a lady from New York, and we have been just swapping things back and forth. She had, I believe, got me one of the longer signs that has the sunflowers on it for fall. And I'm excited to get that one. From what I've seen, those don't even need any work, and I'm so excited to get one of those. We met on a Facebook page. It was Dollar Tree Trade-Offs. It is a page that I created, and it's not really for buying and selling Dollar Tree items. If you do meet someone and you want to buy and sell, do that. You can do that in personal messages, but just on the page, we are just putting out there and meeting each other to where we can do swaps. I also have started on that page a little game of sorts. It is kind of like a Secret Santa, like you would do at Christmas, only it is a Dollar Tree secret swap, to where it is a 10 item maximum, and to where no one really has to spend the buku bucks. You get 10 Dollar Tree items, and you pay the shipping yourself to ship the box you're sending. That way we don't have to swap money back and forth, no PayPal necessary. You put your name in. I use a name generator and pick the names, and I send personal messages to where everybody's addresses aren't blasted all over the page, to where, like, if Christy got Stephanie, then I would be the only one that would receive Stephanie's address and everything and all of her personal information in a message. It's not everybody in the group gets to see your address. It is whoever's sending you a box, I send them your address. That's it. Myself and the person shipping the box. So with that being said, we have, I think we're on number 2 right now. We are due to ship those boxes out by this Friday. So if you want, I will put a link in the description below for that page. And please come join, invite your friends. We're a small group right now, but we have went from 0 to 100 in 3 weeks, I believe. 3 to 4 weeks. So we're growing pretty quickly, and we would like to keep growing. So if you want, come by and see what it's all about. If it's not for you, it's not for you, and that's fine. But we are having an amazing time, and would love it if you come and join us. And thank you for joining me here on my channel. I will be doing more fall DIYs real soon. I did the candles last night. I'm excited to get that video out. I am so ready for fall. It is hot outside. I live in Indiana, so we teeter in the middle, but it is hot outside and I am so ready for cool nights and fires and hoodies. I am a hoodie gal, so I am ready for fall. So I am just decorating it up and then I will send it out to you. So make sure you like, give me a thumbs up and subscribe and post this video so other people can see and help me grow on YouTube and enjoy just doing these DIYs. Have a good evening.
Mom, that was great.
Thank you, Corbin.